So guys, we've learned how to make this this image full screen landing page using HTML and CSS. So if I scroll down like this, you see that I have this about section right here with this lady right here. So and if I click here, so that I have lead, experts, social media, I have all this I have this pop-up box. So this is made using clipping marks. So if I resize this like this, my browser, I see how the thing fits in nice properly, all the text is showing. Okay, we see how this our output is showing. So let me show you how this can be done using HTML and CSS. So first of all, I'm going to come to my VS Code. I'm going to come right here. Okay, right here I have my file. This is HTML file.css and media. I have media like this, and inside this media I have just this image. I have this image of this lady right here that I got from Unsplash. So you can use it if you want. So I'm going to leave a link in the description below so you can download it. I'm going to click HTML. Right, I'm going to toggle this and I'm going to generate a boilerplate. Right, so I'm going to call this full image full screen. Image full screen. Alright, so the next I'm going to do is I'm going to create a div of wrapper. Alright, so then I'm going to create an h1. So this one I'm going to put something like be the best you can be. Under this I'm going to create a paragraph. I'm going to write I'm still. Yeah, something like this. So under this I'm going to create another div because this div is wrapping around all these things. Right, I'm going to create a new div called with a class of box. The class of box 1. Inside this div I'm going to have another div called the class of stats. So inside this stat I'm going to have UL. I'm going to create a list item times 4. So I'll just create it like this. Now outside this I'm going to write a lead experts. The second one I'm going to write something like social media marketing. Okay, the third one I'm going to put something like investor. Third one I'm going to put something like life coaching or life coach, just life coach. And I'm going to put the correct one and this tech evangelist, something like tech evangelist. Okay, I'm going to come outside of this div and I'm going to create something like I'm going to create a div of about me. Okay, this about me I'm going to create an image source tag. I'm going to write media. I'm going to add this image there, so I'm going to come down again. I'm going to create a div of a div wrapper. Okay, that's going to wrap around an h1 of about me. So under this h1 I'm going to create a p tag. That's a paragraph of I'm going to write lorem 50. So I need 50 dummy text here. Just 50 dummy text. So you can put any amount of text you want. So basically this is the HTML we need. So I'm just going to open this with my live server, so you can get this with your VS Code extension. So open it. Basically this is what I'll see. Now see this huge gigantic image right here. Alright, so what I'm going to do for now, I'm going to come back here. we're going to uncomment this image, so later on we'll get it. See, so now this is just exactly what we'll get, so that after we finish this part we can just work on the image. So if I come here, I'm going to toggle this open. I'm going to come here and the next I'm going to do, I'm going to add something like this. So this is needed so that we can just target all the margin, all this margin, and just remove everything. So I'm going to say padding. Padding 0 pixels. Let's say margin 0 pixels. I'm going to say box sizing, border box. So I'm going to come down. So I'm going to save this now. So if I come here, oh, I've not linked my CSS, so let me come back and just link it. Now our CSS is not working. Forgot to do that. Let me just come and just in the CSS style. So I'm going to save this. This should work by now. Alright, so this has already worked perfectly. Now I'm going to come back here. I'm going to target our wrapper. So let's look at what the wrapper is about. Let's come here. Now if I come here, you see that I have a wrapper of I have a div of class of wrapper, under which I have this be the basic and be hamster, and I have this test part, and I have this list item inside it. So if I come here, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to do background of the background color, not background color. I'm going to target the background. I'll put URL. Okay, so I'm going to target media. Media. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to target the width. I'm going to put the width of 100 viewport width. Now let me explain how this 100 viewport width is. Now if I come here, alright, if you look at this one that we have here, okay, this image is taking the 100 viewport width, that's from here to this point, alright, and it's also going to take the height of 100 to this point. Now if I scroll down, then you see this one shows, meaning that if I didn't scroll down, it will always just contain the 100 viewport. Alright, so that's why we are putting the 100 viewport. So let me come back and just continue. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to come back here and just let me close it here. I'm going to also add for the height, say 100 viewport height. So I'm going to say background position. I'm going to say center. Let me save it. Let's see what's going on. Alright, so now we have our image fixed up here. I see our image has already taken the total width of our browser. So I'm going to come back here. Alright, so I'm going to set image background repeat. I'm going to say no repeat. Alright, so if we don't want it to repeat, I'm going to say background size. Say cover. Cover. I'm going to say cover. So the next one I'm going to do is I'm going to let me save this and say okay, as you can see what we have here now. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, let me explain this again. So if you see our text is actually floated to this part of this place. We want to be in the middle. Okay, so to achieve that, I'm going to use our Flex-box to do that. So I'm going to do display flex, display, I'm going to say flex, okay, and I'm going to say justify content center. I'll say flex direction. row column, and I'll say align item center. Okay, I'll say text align center. So if I save all these things, okay, I come and see my text has been presented to the center. Now the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to actually scroll down here, alright, and target the next thing I will need to target. The next thing I will need to target is actually the before and after. We need to target we need to create, okay, so we have this thing position at the center, so we need to create this dark overlay you are seeing here. As you can see, we have this dark overlay here that makes the image look a little bit darker. So if I click here, you see this thing come up here. So we have that dark overlay. So what we want to do now is to see how we can create that. Now to do that, we have to use what is called the pseudo element. So what we're going to do is that I'm going to get my wrapper. Of course, I'm going to say put double here, and I'm going to say before. So I'm going to open this I'm going to open this inside this wrapper. So I'm going to target, I'm going to create the contents of I'm going to create content. So this content, I'm not going to put anything here actually, so I'm going to leave it blank. You can put it there if you want. I'm going to create a width of 100 viewport height. So we want this to also be 100 viewport width. Okay, now I want the height to be 100 viewport as well. So, and I will want the background color to be RGBA. Alright, I want it to be 0, 0, 0, 0.8. Now this 0.8 stands for transparency. Why this A stands for alpha? So if I save it now and come here, you see that I have a little bit of transparency here. Right, now what I'm going to do now, let me come back and show you something. So if I untoggle this and just come down here, okay, and just make this, remove this one, alright, and remove this A right here, this A, and save it, you see that I have just a blank background here. Now to make it transparent, so we need this, so we need this value and this RGB, as you can see, which should actually make it transparent. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say position absolute. Okay, so let's go back and see. Alright, so the thing, we have everything position absolute, as you can see right now. So the second thing I'm going to do now is to target our H1. So this is the H1, so we want to work on our H1 text. I'm going to come back here. Alright, so I'm going to just target the H1. I'll say wrapper H1. So to target this H1, if I come back, if I check this tutorial, if I check this project, you see that everything is just faint. Okay, so I'm going to put a background. I'm going to put a background color. I'm going to put a color of RGB. So I'm going to put 8115236, something like this. So this we use for a blue. Okay, this is a blue RGB color. So if I come back here, see that this blue is not showing properly. Now the reason why it's not showing properly is because it's behind this our overlay. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add a Z index or Z index. So I'm just going to do something like 2 and save it. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to see this thing just pop out here. So without the Z index, this will be underneath this our black overlay. So next I'm going to do, I'm going to the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a font family. A font family, of course. A font family of my rate Pro. Okay, if I save this, let's see what's going to happen. So the font has been changed. So the next thing I'm going to do is font size 4 EM. The next one will be font style italics. So I'm going to apply a letter spacing of 8 pixels. So I'm going to apply a text transform of uppercase. Alright, so let's save it and see what we have. Okay, so we get something exactly like this. So the next thing I'm going to apply here is the next thing I'm going to do is that we are going to go next to the wrapper paragraph. Okay, so the paragraph we have just this Amstel. Let me come back. That's this word Amstel here. So we're going to work on that. So the next, so we also need to apply a Z index to this. Okay, so before we apply a Z index, let's apply a color so that I see what I mean. Alright, RGB. Okay, and I'm not going to put 25 to 55 255 255. Now 255 stands for white color actually. So if I save this and come back here, so that now we have this white, but it's not showing. If you can see this little text here. So the best way to make it show, just apply a Z index. I'll say Z index 2. So I'll save it. Good. Now the Z index determines what to be at the top of most. So if you use kind of a low Z index, this is going to take it down something like -2. Okay, I might not see anything. You see, it did not disappear. If I just put 2, I'll end up seeing something like this. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a font family. The font family of Myriad. Pro. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is to add font size. Font size 2 EM. Okay, font style. A font style. Font style of italics. Letter spacing 8 pixels. And that's it. So I'm going to save this and let's see what we have. As you can see. So the next thing we are working on is our let me come here and see what we are working. So we are done with this too. So we need to work with this box right here. Okay, need to work with this box. There is this box. Then the one we are going to target is this start. So that's how that can be done. So the first I'm going to do is I'm going to say start. Alright, so I'm going to create something like background like RGB. Okay, I'm going to choose this blue color. I'm going to say padding 1 EM. I'm going to say border radius 10 pixels. I'm going to say width 200% of its parent. So you're going to take 200% of its parent. So I'm going to set a color of white and do something like this. So let's save it and see what we have. So you can see we have something like this. So what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to I'm going to add a clip part. A clip part of circle. Circle, we are going to use 10% at 90%, at 30%. Okay, so inside this we are going to do transition of all 0.4 seconds. Is in out cursor pointer. So let's save this and see what we have. Okay, as you can see what I have here now. So convert all these things to something like this. So the next thing I'm going to do is that, now let me explain this thing again, so in case you're wondering what is going on. So yeah, I have this 10. Okay, we're using this. Let me uncomment this. I think let me just uncomment this one again. Let me save it. So if I come here, you see that this we have this big box here. Okay, so what we have to do is just to use this clipping marks and just create a little cycle of 10% at a position of 90, 30. Do you get it? So what I'm going to do here is that if I create something like 50 and save it, and come here, you see how the thing get bigger. Okay, I can also come here and just say something like let's say 60. I save it. So it is getting bigger. So now what I did is just to say, okay, you know what, I just want 10. And if I save this 10, so this just reduce it to something like this. Hope you understand that. So this position also determines where it will be. If I put something like 0, for example, and I save it, you see that I have this thing fixed on this position. Alright, and if I put it to something like this, to something like 50, and I save it, you see that the thing does come down like this. So we use this thing to actually to position it anywhere we want. Okay, so I'm just going to call this 90. But we want it to be at the top right hand side. Let me come back here so that you see how where the thing goes. Now these texts are still here, but it's just that they are hiding. Okay, so this thing is hiding it. So we are going to use something to actually bring it out so I think can be reviewed. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back to this status, but this time around I'm going to add an overstate. I'm going to say status over. So if we over this status, we want something to happen. So we want this clip part, this clip part to be a circle of 70%. Now what I'm saying is that 70% and let me show you what I mean. Now it means that if I over this, I want the size to change. We'll see what will happen. You see how the thing does change. If I over it, you see how the thing does change. So we are saying that once we over this thing, it was changed to 70%. We want it to grow and fill in all this thing that was hidden or that was hidden before, as you can see. So I'll come back here and say that I want the color, I want the background color. I want the background color to be RGB. Okay. So now I want the background colors to change from this one to this one. Alright, so let's see what we have here. But I'm not noticing anything. Now this I'm not noticing anything because this color and this color is the same. So I'm going to just come here and just choose a darker blue. Darker than the one we have before. So I'll just save it. If I come here and just over this thing, you see how the thing just changed. As you can see. So we are still going to style out this text properly. Okay? So I'll just come here. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to target the label. Now if you're wondering what the label is, so in this label, in this part, I think we know the label. We should add the label. So let me add the label. I'm just going to add the plus plus sign. Now if I'm to take you back to the previous one that I showed you before we get started, if I show you this one, see that I have a plus here. So if I click on this plus, okay, and I'll see all these things pop out. This plus is showing me that something that I can just click on. So that is the essence of the label that I added, just to add that plus. So I'm going to come back here and just say, I'm just going to say start label. So inside this label, I'll say float right. Okay, I'll say color. I want the color to be white, of course, and we want the font weight to be bolder. Okay, we want the font size to be 2 em. We want the transition. The transition should be of color. So we want to remove. We want to add the transition to. We want to add the transition to the color. Okay, so we are going to put something like we're going to put the value of 0.6 seconds. Okay. Now the next thing to do again is to add a position of relative. So we want it to be relative to the page. So then I'm going to add a margin of margin right. I'm going to add a margin right of 4.5%. Okay, and margin left of 4%. Let me save it as what we have. I save it. Okay, we still have our label inside here. Let's see how we can fix that. So let me change this. Okay, there we go. Alright, so that's it. The next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to target our status again. I'm going to be targeting so if over on the status, over on the status label, so we want a color of RGB. Want the color of RGBA of 25 255. So 0 pixels. Now let me explain what is going on here. Now if I hover over this thing, you see that I still have my plus still standing right here. Now what we want is that once we hover over this thing, so we want this thing to just vanish, to not be visible. I think that's the right word to use. And if I come here, so that this thing is set to RGBA. RGBA stands for alpha, and this place stands for 0, which is a zero transparency, like I've showed you before. So if I save this thing now and I come here, I just do something like this, inside the thing does remove, and you can see how the thing transition slowly. Now the transition is as a result of this one we have here. Okay, now the next thing for me to do is that I'm going to target our start UL and LI. Now the reason what we want to do is that if you come to our previous one and we do something like this, you see how big all this text is and the space and everything. But here we still have everything straight to just one part. There's no space, and we have this, and we still have this list item here. So let's So let's fix that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say list type. I'm going to say none. I'm going to say font family. I'm going to say myread pro. I'm going to say text transform uppercase margin top 2em. So let's say this and see what we have. Let's say if we have like 1 em, that's what we have. Let's take it back to 2em. I think it's much better. I just want enough space to be there. Alright, I think this is much better. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to scroll down and just work on our over. Okay, we want to work on our over state. Now the next thing to do is that if I click here and I over this thing, okay, I want the links to change. Okay, so to do that I'm going to come here and just say start UL UI over. So inside this UL UI over, I'm going to add the color of RGBA. I'm going to target this blue. If I save it and I come back here, target this. Now you see what I have here. Now the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to add an about. I'm going to target our about in section. But before I go there, let me explain the formula to you. So basically, this is how this part should be. So let me show you so you see it. So we are done with this. We are done with this flex part. The other part we have to do is just to work on this one, this about this part. So let me check something. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to, if you check what we have here, see that this plus is staying at the top instead of at the middle. So I think I'm going to fix that by changing this from margin left to top. Just save it. Okay, so let me show you. Alright, so this is much more better like this. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll down. So let's see how we can work on this. So I'm going to come back here and just go to this my about section. Okay, and I'm going to scroll down to, I'm going to untoggle this image. I'm going to bring it out. Okay, so the next, so how I'm going to do that is that I'm going to target the width actually. Okay, as you can see now we have the image here, a very large image. So we are going to come back here. I'm going to say about me ing. I'm going to say width of 300 pixels. I say an height of 200 pixels. Okay, so I'm going to see web. I'm going to, let's save this and see what we have. So let me bring this down. As you can see, the image has been reduced. So read this image. Now what we want to do is we want to add a cycle here, just like we have here. Let me show you, just like we have here. Okay, so let's add a cycle there. So I want to add a cycle there. So to do that, to achieve that, I'm going to come and just say I'm going to add the clip path, but I'm going to use WebKit because this has not really been supported in most browsers. So let's add WebKit clip paths of circle. Okay, so we're going to be using 40%. Let's put this circle of 40%. Let's save it and see our result. Okay, so you see, now we have this thing changed to a circle. Now the next thing I'm going to do right here is to target the main about me section. Now there's something we need to work on. If I come back and I'll show you, see, we need this to be placed side by side. Okay, now to do that we have to add the Flex-box to it. Now this Flex-box I'll just do something like this. Alright, then I will say background color. No, back. What am I? I'll say background color. I'm going to CCC for dark gray. Right, I'm going to say display flex. I'm going to say padding. I'm going to put 2 for all of them. That's all across. Let's save it and see the result of what we have. So you see something like this. So this has just applied the padding of 2 Now the next thing to do is to come back here and just target our padding, our about me div. So let me show you this about me div on our HTML so that you have an idea of what I'm about to do. Now if you come here, you see that I have a div that I wrap about this about me and this lower imp some text. Okay, if I come back here, you see that this thing is up. I want it to be at least start from somewhere like here, so I want to bring it down. So what I'm going to do now is to target this place. Alright, I'm going to say width of 50. I want the 50% width, and we want a margin top of 2 Let's save it. You see how this thing has just reduced, and this has been positioned properly. So the next thing to do is to target the individual text that is here, both this one and this one. So we have to work on both of them. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say about me h1. Yeah, about me h1. So I'm going to say text font family, font family. I'm going to say my rate pro. Alright, I'm going to say color. I'm going to say arrow. I'm going to target this one. Okay, so I'm going to save it, and then let's see what we have here. Alright, I think that's okay for us. So the next thing to do is to target the paragraph. So let's see how we can work on the paragraph. Let's check the paragraph before we start. You see, we still have some elements. I want to change the font and just apply some line height. So something very basic. And also, if you look at what we have here, you see that this place is not smooth. All the text is not smooth the right way. It's not properly justified. So we want it to be as straight as this. So to do that, I'm going to say that about me p paragraph. I'll say font family. I'll say calibre light like GST. Let's save it and see if this actually applied. Okay, that's okay, it applied. So I'm going to say color. I'm going to say RGBA. Okay, of black. I'm not going to remove this. I'm going to remove this P. Okay, let me save it and see. Okay, so we have a dark text there. So the next thing is that text justify. I'm going to say enter word. And I'm going to say line height. I'm going to say 1.5 em. Okay, so I'm going to save it. So if I come here, you see what I have here. No, not this one. If I come here, you see what I have here. You see how everything is properly been arranged. Now, the last thing we need to do is that if you look, this is our project. This is basically all what we need to know about this project. This is it. But I still have some scroll bar here, and I'm having extra space here, which I don't want. I'm just going to come back to my text editor and target the body text. I'm going to say body. I'll say overflow heading. But I'm going to target overflow X because I want it to only affect the X, not the Y axis. So it disappears. So basically this is it, guys. I hope you find this very useful and interesting. If you have any question to ask, feel free to like, share and subscribe, and suggest anything you want me to do for you based on these tutorials. I will try my best to see how I can fix it. So the essence of this tutorial is just to give you something that you can just work on, and just a simple project to work on, and how to make your image. First of all, make it create an overlay, and just create an image that contains the full width of your browser. So I'm going to see you in my next video.